Wait, oh my god. What the just happened to my GPU? You won't believe what I just scored. 5 GPUs for $50. Yep, 5 cards. From a seller on Facebook Marketplace. Right now, a single good enough gaming GPU runs around $100. I paid half that for 5. Sounds like a steal, right? Well, not exactly. These things come with problems. Most of them aren't perfect. Some might be flaky. Worst case, they can fail. And even take other components with them. Risky. But that's why I'm here. I'll be the guinea pig and test every card. And here's the fun part. If I can bring any of them back to life, I'm giving it away to one of you, for free. Alright, GPU number 1. Let's see what we're working with. Now it's time for the real question. Can this old GPU still come back to life? You can tell right away from the sticker. GT730, 2 gigabytes. But unfortunately, it's not the DDR5 version. It's DDR3, and even worse, it's running on a 64-bit bus, which is seriously underpowered by today's standards. On the outside, though, it actually looks pretty clean and well kept. Taking a closer look, there are no signs of damaged components or repair marks, although the void sticker is missing. Hopefully, whoever opened it up just wanted to reapply thermal paste. Now it's time for the real question. Can this old GPU still come back to life? Since I'll be testing multiple GPUs back to back, there's always a bit of risk to the rest of the hardware. So I've set up a cheap test bench just in case anything goes wrong. If something blows up, at least it's under control. Alright, time to plug it in and power it on. Oh, it actually booted up on the first try. Straight into Windows, working just fine. But man, that resolution instantly took me back about 10 years. Next step, let's try installing the drivers. And here's where the problems start. The GPU refuses to install its drivers no matter what I do. It could be a hardware issue or maybe some kind of software conflict. I even wiped all the old drivers completely. Still no luck. I'll admit, I'm not exactly a hardware repair expert. So for now, I'll let this card handle basic display output while I check the rest of the system. Right now, it's selling for around $20, but with this issue, it's barely worth a quarter of that. Anyway, let's move on to our next patient and see if it's in better shape. Oh no, the label's completely gone. There's no way to tell exactly which model this is just by looking at it. But judging from the dual 6-pin power connectors, I'd guess it's from the NVIDIA 900 series. Visually, it still looks pretty clean. The PCB is spotless. The output ports aren't rusted, and the only thing showing its age is the heat pipes, which have darkened over time. But that's fine. It's time to plug it in and find out what this mystery GPU really is. And of course, whether it still works. The GPU booted up and displayed an image just fine. And even better, Windows automatically installed the driver right away. That's a great sign, meaning the card is still being properly recognized and the drivers are stable. Just as I suspected, it's a GTX 970 with 4 GB of VRAM, and honestly, the performance is still rock solid, even in full HD gaming. Next, I fired up Heaven Benchmark to test stability, and after about 30 seconds, oh no, the GPU crashed completely. No signal, no display, just the fan still spinning. Looks like we've got a VRAM issue here. I did a quick reset and thankfully the display came back. Watching YouTube or doing light tasks works perfectly fine, so at this point I'd say this GPU is only good for display output or media playback. Gaming is off the table. After saying goodbye to the GTX 970, 4 GB, sadly a lost cause, we're moving on to the GT 1030, 2 GB. It's not exactly a powerhouse, and even when it first launched, it wasn't meant to impress. But even today, you can still find it in plenty of budget builds, usually as a replacement for integrated graphics. Its main job is simple: handle office work and light gaming at full HD. Right now, though, all I care about is whether it still works. So let's plug it in and fire it up. The fan spins, but there's no display output. Alright, maybe the output port's a bit dusty. Let's give it a quick clean. Still nothing, just a black screen. Luckily, there's another output, a DVI port. So let's try that. And yes, it's alive. It even installed the drivers automatically, no setup needed. That's a good sign. Next step, stability test. I'm running Heaven Benchmark, and after a few minutes, temps are solid and performance looks consistent. So far, it seems like this little GPU has survived, but just to be sure, I'll jump into a real game test next to confirm how well it actually performs. Next up, we've got the GTX 960 2GB, a card that was considered pretty powerful back in its day. This version comes with a slight factory overclock, running at 1216 MHz base and boosting up to 1279 MHz in OC mode. However, with only 2 GB of VRAM, it's definitely showing its age when it comes to modern titles. Still, the GTX 960 was once a real workhorse. Solid performance and great efficiency for its time. But make no mistake, this card draws quite a bit of power, requiring at least a 400-watt PSU according to the manufacturer's specs. Now comes the moment I've been waiting for. Let's see if this old warrior is still a hidden gem, or just another relic of the past. Alright, GPU's in place. Let's plug it in and power it on. And wait, oh my god, what the just happened to my GPU? Oh no, I can't believe this. It's fried, completely dead. We just witnessed a GPU funeral right here. We need to keep this thing far away from the other components before it takes something else down with it. Now the real question, did the power supply and mainboard combo survive? Let's test it. Oh no, the PSU's gone too. It's not powering up anymore. Alright, maybe the motherboard and CPU are still fine. Let's swap in another power supply. And nothing. Dead silence. I can't believe it. I just fried a $30 power supply and my entire mainboard combo along with it. That's it. I guess this is where our unlucky GPU story ends. A tragic finale for what could have been a comeback. And finally, our last contender, the GTX 1060, 3GB. I'm not sure if this one can make up for all the losses today, but maybe, just maybe, it'll turn things around. This is the compact version, perfect for small form factor builds. But as you probably know, performance-wise, it's no different from the larger dual or triple fan models. The only real differences are cooling efficiency and noise levels. What makes this card even more interesting is the price. It's currently going for around $50, so if it works perfectly, this could actually end up being a profitable deal. Now comes the big moment. Now let's power it on and see if we're about to witness a little miracle. I decided to grab another PC combo to test this GPU again. Honestly, my hands were still shaking as I pressed the power button. Alright, let's count it down. 3, 2, 1, and oh, finally, the last bit of hope is alive. I could finally breathe a sigh of relief. Next step, I installed the latest drivers and, of course, ran the Heaven benchmark, because that's always the real test. At medium settings, the GPU ran pretty hot, around 70 degrees Celsius, but that's expected for a single fan card. The result, around 125 frames per second. Stable, no crashes, even under load. Honestly, that's a solid deal in my book. But then I noticed something. Some of the screws looked like they'd been opened before, which made me wonder if it had been repaired inside. Still, it works perfectly fine. No issues, runs smooth. And for me, that alone makes it totally worth it. After testing all 5 GPUs, only 2 of them turned out to be fully functional. Though with the GT 1030, 2GB, only 1 DisplayPort actually works. But hey, at least it's alive. Now it's time for the fun part. Let's fire up Fortnite and see how these cards perform in real gameplay. At low settings, the GT 1030, 2GB managed to pull between 100 and 150 frames per second, averaging around 100 frames per second. Even while running at full load, the temperature stayed at just 58 degrees Celsius, incredibly power efficient at only 30 watts. As for the GTX 1060.3 GB, things got a bit hotter. I might need to reapply the thermal paste soon. But performance-wise, it was impressive, hovering between 150 and 200 FPS with an average of about 140 FPS. So those are the results for the 2 survivors from our GPU lineup. And here's the fun part. If you'd like to get one of these GPUs for free, drop a comment below. I'll be hosting a giveaway to send them out to some of you guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more crazy PC experiments. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.